Hey guys, before I start, I just want to say that this is the first discussion video that I'm going to be posting on my channel. So please let me know if y'all like it. And most importantly, don't take anything I said in this video too seriously. It's just all my own personal opinions and thoughts. So with all that being said, let's talk about Suko now. The first thing that I want to talk about is how would Suko even work in the ecosystem if it was added into the game right now? I honestly think that if Sugo was added to the game right now, it would do pretty well, to be honest with you. It could survive because it's a semi-aquatic, so it could always escape uh, creatures when it's younger. It can eat fish, most likely. They'll be able to eat fish like all the other semi-aquatics anyway, for its diets for 3 dots, so it wouldn't really struggle for food that much. And when it becomes adult, it'll be big enough to scavenge anything pretty safely, even from Sarah's. Plus, it would be such needed competition for Dino right now because Dino just reigns undisputed in the water. So finally, there'll be something to eat all the juvie Dinos in the water because it's so easy to grow Dino right now. It's a joke, bro. Like, come on. Like, Suko will be so good to finally balance Dino because Dinos, yes, they do balance like each other. They do eat each other, but when they don't, they really just clog up the whole river. For example, Highlands Lake. Highlands Lake is usually always packed with Dino players, but if Fasuka was in the game right now, most of Dino players would be dead either way, so that'd be good. And with this new addition to the roster, it would make the other parts of the map more viable too, because hopefully the devs make Suko not inhabit the same areas as Dino, so the player base would be more split up. Because most people that want to play semi-aquatics, they either pick Dino or they pick BP, but BP is kind of rare now, not gonna lie. But with Suko being added, not only more people want to pick the semi-aquatics, but also the semi-aquatics will be in different areas. Because I think the devs don't want like all the semi-aquatics in just one general area. For example, swamps could be like both Dino and Suko living there, but for example, I'm sorry, I'm saying for example a lot. Sorry, I'm gonna try to stop saying that. But in Delta, Dinos don't really be in Delta that often, and honestly, nothing really be over there besides Maya now. Sometimes you can find Mayas at Delta because of their migration zone. That's a whole other topic for another day. But Suko being at Delta would just help the overall player distribution issues and the total ecosystem in general. The second thing we need to talk about is what would Suko's playstyle even be like, and what would its abilities be like? Because the last thing, and I mean the very last thing right now, we need is Suko just being another dinosaur that has the same type of abilities as everything else in terms of stunning, pinning, and all those shenanigans, man. Because I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of everything seemingly having a stun, everything seemingly having a pin. It's just annoying, bro. Everything has a stun, everything has a pin, or a knockdown, and I'm sick and tired of it. So that's why I think Suko should just have a basic few abilities in his toolkit, just like BP does. It should have a claw attack, kind of like BP. Like BP's ult, think of BP's ult, and that should be Suko's ult. I think it would fit it. Its claws should do heavy damage and bleed. It should have just a regular LMB bite that does around, I'd say, its bite should do at least 150 bite, and its claws make it 270, well, 250 to 300. They could be tweaked, but his claws should definitely be the main damage dealers. The bite should just be just a regular bite, nothing special. And for one of his special abilities, in his concept art, we did see like it being able to nest in mud. So obviously that should be a special ability. That'd be pretty neat. And the fact that it should be really, really good at wading in water and mud. It shouldn't get slowed down in shallow water at all, and in mud. She should be able to actually run in mud. So that would be a cool feature it should have. And kind of like Dino, it should have a water sense too. So when it's fishing in water, it should be in shallow water looking for fish, and it should be able to hold Q, and it can have like a water sense and be able to find fish, and maybe even see a Dino if it's lurking in the water. So that should be it pretty much. That should be his main abilities: the claw attacks, the bite, and the water sense. That's all Suka really needs. Now we should talk about the playstyle. In my mind, I think Suko's gonna have a solitary playstyle. It's gonna be an ambush predator, but mostly fishing, man. It's gonna be sitting in water for the most part, catching fish and killing whoever gets close to it in the water. They'll be killing juvie dinos. In the future, it'll be killing Barry if it can catch it. Barry's probably gonna be faster anyway. They'll be killing those guys. Anything that gets close to it in the water, anything it finds dead near the water, and anything that gets caught swimming near it is dead. I kind of imagine it kind of being like a Herrera in some sense of it, because Herrera's playstyle is just an ambush predator, waiting in one spot for the most part, and waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. And I think Suko should be like that, just waiting around for the perfect opportunity to kill somebody, but mostly living off of fish. And Suko's weight should also be just 4 tons. Nothing more, nothing less. I've debated between myself back and forth if it should weigh more than that, but I've ultimately decided that Suko doesn't need to be more than 4 tons because it's gonna be mostly a shallow wader. You're not gonna be in deep water with dinos. So if you ever end up in deep water with dinos, that's your fault, bro. It's gotta keep balance between the two playables and all the other playables the devs decide to add further down the line. But Suko should be able to fill out its niche quite nicely at 4 tons. It's still big enough to defend itself on land against mid tiers, but it's still small enough to be vulnerable against the apexes and anything bigger than it. And Dino, being one of the apexes in water, should be able to fight a Suko or two in deep water. It should be expected. Dino weighs 8 tons, Suko weighs 4 tons, half of that. You can get grabbed, you can get drowned, bro. It's that simple. It's not unfair, it's pretty balanced, I'd say. Suzuko should be in different spots of the map anyway. The only map you should be like colliding with Dino, that you might collide with a Dino, is the swamp, because swamp is mostly shallow, but it also has some deep spots. But that's for the devs to honestly decide. The devs need to make the map have more shallow water, which I'm sure they will. But my third and last point that I really want to make is that we really need to decide, should Suko even be added to the game at this point? Because as I'm well aware that most of you guys know already, the game, man, this game is seriously facing some severe roster bloat. As far as I know, like maybe around 50 plus playables, maybe 60 plus playables are planned for this game. And at this rate, it's going to take years and years and years before they even come close to finishing this game, man, adding all the dinos. And that's not even the worst part. Like, a lot of dinos have, like, basically clones of themselves. Not clones, not exactly clones, but like different variations. Like some species in this game is gonna have like 3 or 4 like variations of the same species as different types of dinosaurs. Like look at the Triceratopsians, the Ceratopsians, rather. I think there's like 3 or 4 planned for this game. And for Suko, we already have 3 Spinosaurids they want to add into the game. We're gonna have Barry, Suko, and Spino. I might be even missing another one, but I'm not sure. I think there's only 3 that's planned. But I honestly don't even know if Suko's even really needed, because Barry's gonna take up like the small niche. It's gonna be faster on land than in water most likely. It's gonna be mostly terrestrial. It's gonna be around 13 to 1700 kg, I think. It's gonna be like a kind of like a Sarah, but it also has the option of being a water, which is gonna be cool. Suko's the big brother of Barry. There's a bigger version, I feel like. Gonna be a waiter, semi-aquatic, same thing, eating fish, all that good stuff. And Spino being the apex, the biggest of them all, 9 plus tons, maybe even 10 tons. Just a menace to society, bro. But I just don't know if we need all three, you know? Plus, Suko's gonna have direct competition with Cherry. So I don't know how Suko and Cherry are gonna react in the same environment too, because they're gonna have the same spots with Spino too. So we're gonna have Suko, we're gonna have Cherry, and we're gonna have Spino taking up all the same habitat. So I don't know how that's gonna work. So I don't know if Suko's even needed at all, especially since we have Cherry to fill the same niche as Suko. But correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, guys. Please educate me. But I think I'm right. I think I'm right on this one. But if I'm not, let me know. Because the way I see it, Suko's gonna get overshadowed by Cherry, man. Suko's gonna get overshadowed by Cherry. Mark my words. Gonna have the same niche. There's only difference, and the only difference is like Cherry's gonna be an omnivore most likely. But with that being said, that's the end of the video. Let me know what y'all think. Comment below, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching the video. Take care, y'all.